On a cold and rainy day, what is your go-to drink? So we would taste coffees left and right and really figure out like what's the nuance of things. And it made me understand how coffee is really just another ingredient. We actually feature 3 coffee roasters at any time. We have 1 international roaster, 1 United States roaster, and then 1 California-based roaster. And we change these every 3 to 4 months. The goal there was to just really keep us interested, because 1 coffee roaster can be kind of boring. No offense to those single roasters out there. But we want to see like what people are doing with coffee all around the world. You have to enjoy making the same drink 100 times a day. Enjoy, being around people almost all the time. We stumbled upon this shop. It was co-owned by a husband who had just lost his wife due to COVID, and he was trying to get out of the business because this shop reminded him too much of her, and it was really stressful to work a full-time job and also manage the shop. So we started talking about like what he wanted to accomplish in the shop and then what we want to accomplish. And eventually we're like, oh, we kind of have the same vision where we want to be here for the students, but also be here for something that may be bigger than ourselves, like an act of God where we just stumbled upon the right spot where we were next to the students. And then on the other side, we discovered this afterwards, is a great neighborhood called Nagley Park. So I've known Ashley for about 5 to 6 years now, and just seeing her grown as a person, as a manager too.
Nagley Park has been like super supportive, and we're very lucky that they love coffee.
I thought this is not a run-of-the-mill coffee place.
Panda's is a ray of sunshine.
Well, we do have a lot of coffee now, but that doesn't mean that the coffee comes with community. So that was the difference, and it was the difference that I got within seconds.
The students as well tend to go more for like the sweeter drinks.
It helps that, people like Ashley, Michael, Carlos, they're very comfortable with making drinks. Whereas like you go to somewhere like Starbucks, they're stressed as fuck. I ask Carlos what his favorite music is, what music he's been listening to. Ask Michael what his movies he's been watching. I think the biggest thing is like they're very sociable, and it's close to campus. It's good coffee, close to campus, the price is affordable.
I think especially after COVID, a lot of people lost some sort of human connection with people outside their immediate circles or whatever they were called, where they longed for interactions with strangers who genuinely cared about their well-being or genuinely cared about like what they're going through. And so, yes, people come here for the coffee mix, but I do think a lot of people do come here for the conversations that they can have if they're not in a rush.
In San Jose, especially, the tech industry is like so fast-paced, It's so fast-paced, and I think it's really unfortunate that like people don't get to sit down anymore and have a conversation. It's just gotta grab their coffee and go,
One of the secrets, I think, has been that Mike is amazing about knowing people's names. And I find that pretty out of the ordinary. But then he does something else. He introduces people when they're standing in line. And I can't think of another coffee place I have been to where that happens.
Overall goal for coffee shops is to bring more people in. But I think we also want to slow down. For our shop especially, we would love to get to know our community.
Yeah, my old job, it was like just all about like getting money, and a lot of time there was like a lot of drawbacks to that. Like sometimes the quality wouldn't be good, or it was just like not a nice environment. But here we can put a lot more focus into this one place and how we like interact with people and what we put out.
Someone just told me actually that per 100 people, San Jose has the most coffee shops in the country. I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
I mean, here in San Jose alone, there's Con Azúcar, there's Phil's, heck, even in the student union, we have a cafe in there. They make you fresh coffee. Boycotting Starbucks has given me a chance to explore. There's a lot of workers' rights concerns regarding Starbucks. They don't necessarily treat their workers the best. The pay isn't always the best, hours, things like that. They are firing, they are mistreating employees that speak out because of the attacks on innocent Palestinian people. You're at least using your dollar to say, hey, I don't want to fund this. I personally don't want to fund this. So that in and of itself, I think, is something. There's so many cool local cafes and coffee shops to explore. And it gives me a chance to like see the community more and get more connected.
Back in like 2017 or so, I threw myself into the world of specialty coffee. I did coffee a little bit in my previous jobs, predominantly at 85 Bakery, where I ran the shop as assistant manager for a while. I was like, no, I think there's some artistry to coffee that is getting lost.
We ourselves identify as a third wave coffee shop.
We call ourselves AM Craft. The crafts is mean we don't just press buttons. We're actually taking time to appreciate what we're making and enjoy what we're making for other people. This is a free coffee event. This is a free community event. We put this on once a month, maybe twice a month soon, as a way for you guys to get to know us and for us to get to know you more. We want to kind of open people's minds to like the different coffees and how people are treating them and how they might taste differently. But we bring them in, we make 3 or 4 coffees.
We all like introduce ourselves, then there's like an icebreaker, see like if we have like similar coffee tastes, and then we just all like taste coffee together.
It's totally a community building thing. We want people to come in here and really experience what we go through when we're tasting coffees, and also help them understand that coffee has a lot of different flavors.
It's been like a lot of just like drip coffee, because I think that has the widest range of like chocolatey to fruity.
A lot of people have come to ask me like, how do you start a coffee shop? Because everyone else has romanticized the idea of owning a coffee shop. And I always ask them the first question is like, to have a coffee shop, like what is your goal to have one? Is it just to have fun, or is it to make money? Or is it something that you're really driven for? Because running your own business is a lot of work. It takes up 60, 80 hours of my week on a regular basis. And I'm okay with that. And my wife is okay with that, gratefully. But, you know, a lot of my motivation for opening the store was to build a community space, to build a space where people come here to get off of the devices, to talk to one another over a cup of coffee.